You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Electoral officials have released preliminary results showing the ruling Cambodian People's Party, led by longtime Prime Minister Hun Sen, having won 120 of the 125 parliamentary seats in Sunday's election. Official results are not expected to be released until at least August. However, reports from provincial governors show a landslide victory for the CPP, winning the majority of National Assembly seats. Meanwhile, the royalist Hun Sen party is estimated to have won 5 seats. Voter turnout was high this year, following government encouragement and measures such as free transportation and worker holidays to ensure people living in the provinces could return home to vote. The National Election Committee, or NEC, reported nearly 85% voter turnout, far higher than in previous elections. There were an unusually high number of spoiled ballots reported in some areas, such as Phnom Penh and other provinces. International observers from Russia, China, and Guinea-Bissau watched as Prime Minister Hun Sen and his wife, First Lady Bun Rani, went to his home precinct in Tak Mau to vote on Sunday. He followed regular voting procedure, held up his sealed ballot for all to see, then placed it in the ballot box before heading outside for selfies and handshakes with the media. The polls closed at 3 p.m., and counting ballots by hand began almost immediately. Within hours, initial results were released showing that longtime leader Prime Minister Hun Sen and his CPP all but guaranteed to win as he looks to secure his legacy by handing the reins to his eldest son, General Hun Manet. At age 70, the Prime Minister has suggested that he will hand over his position during the upcoming 5-year term. Recently, he hinted that the transfer of power could happen within the month. At 45 years old, General Hun Manet is currently chief of the Cambodian Army. He graduated with a bachelor's degree from U.S. Military Academy West Point, then continued his education with a master's from NYU and a PhD from Bristol University in the UK. Dozens of international observers have released their official accounts of their experience on Election Day. They were all satisfied with what they had observed and congratulated Cambodia on its path to democracy. Meanwhile, human rights groups and the U.S. Embassy have criticized the election as neither free nor fair, citing a pattern of threats and harassment against the CPP's political opponents. Many Cambodians appreciate what they see as a free and fair election. In a country that has living memories of genocide and war, some said they were happy just to vote for stability. Many who showed up to vote in Phnom Penh told EAC News that they expected the CPP to sweep all 125 seats in the parliament again. Having voted since multi-party elections began in 1993, 72-year-old Sai Saret was happy to vote for his beloved CPP to lead the country peacefully toward development. Secretary of State for the Ministry of Interior, General Q. Sopiak, said that there were few reports of any protests against the elections. However, 37 people are being sought over allegations they encouraged others to spoil their ballots by sharing their own ballots marked with an X on a Telegram chat. The Prime Minister has called for them to turn themselves in. Additionally, 2 arrests were made at polling stations for the offense as well. NEC spokesperson Heng Putia told EAC News that authorities had arrested a number of individuals for causing irregularities at voting stations through spoiling their ballots. A new law passed earlier this month made discouraging others from voting a criminal offense. Those found guilty face fines and the suspension of their voting rights and ability to run for office. Kristen Winters, EAC News.